in the podcast.
Listening to podcasts.
Why do we only have two voices? It's always this voice. It's always the new.
So this dumbass comes up to me and he tells me, "Hey, you got a nice looking eyebrow," and I tell him, "No, you." And then every 44
I'm
minutes,
walking here.
every 44 minutes we say,
Steal it. Steal it. Take off. Take it. Steal it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Welcome to the Pizza and Hummus podcast. This is Vincent with Richie. He just did a nod. That means that he's here, he's present, and you just gotta deal with it.
You just gotta trust that I'm here.
Just to kind of get back into things. Anything new been going on, Richie? Anything? No.
No. I'm gonna give a resounding nah.
I'm getting married in almost a month.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's weird. It's interesting right now because, in my opinion, I feel like right now it is less stressful because
I'd imagine, yeah.
because everything's all planned out.
Mm-hmm.
But for my fiance, she feels that it's the most stressful time
Yeah, I can see that.
because it's like me. I'm like I have all the money put away.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just kind of waiting for the due dates when things are due. I pay them. They do their services on that day, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, everything has been pretty much planned and figured out.
Yeah.
Whereas she's more like, I have to get prepared. I have to, check and do all these little, the little things.
Yeah.
That's not really necessarily my responsibility. It's more of like things like she wants to do, and just little things of like creating little like seating charts and plates and stuff like that. Like
kind of the little tiny things.
Crafts. It's tiny. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff because of all because a lot of guests and stuff.
Yeah.
But really, it's stuff that I don't need to do a lot. And so right now for me, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty casual. But she's getting more and more stressed as the day's coming. And I thought that was just kind of interesting. So, and then you guys are doing pretty well, right? You guys got dates and
everything's going great.
Everything's going smooth.
She's still dress shopping, I think. I don't know. I'm not allowed to know anything about it. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't either. And I try to avoid it. I mean, a lot of people think it's just some dumb superstition, but you know what? I think there's a lot of truth to it. There's something, and this is what I mean by it. So my fiance, she loves to watch Say Yes to the Dress. Mm-hmm. She loves to watch Say Yes to the Dress. Mm-hmm. And there's some times where the groom will be there, and she's really dependent on his opinion of like what he thinks. Yeah, that's a big thing.
For the dress?
For the dress, yeah. She'll walk out, and usually that's the big drama of the show, because every good show has to have drama, conflict. That's what creates good stories. Yeah. So she'll come out, and she'll bring her mom, her sister, her cousins, her best friend, her least best friend, and her dad. Like, they'll bring all these people out, and then she'll come out feeling like super, super confident in this dress. Like, I found the dress. I love this so much. Yeah. And one person will go, I don't like it. Yeah. And then it's just all zoomed up shots of reactions of them going nuts. And it's just this stressful thing. And they're like, oh, she's got to learn just to like her own dress. And it's a super sassy stylist that's like, you got to learn to love it.
Oh,
and it turns into this big thing. And that's like a big thing. Cause then like the bride's like, well, cause the bride, usually the girl like wants to bring as many people so that way they come in and they just tell her how beautiful she is and how amazing she is. But really what happens is everybody wants to give their own opinion. Yeah. And since she's like, well, they all don't agree, so maybe I don't. When in reality, she could have went by herself, picked a dress that she truly loved, walked down the aisle, and everyone would have been like caught up in the moment. And be like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. So it really doesn't matter. But since they're in this place where, I have to really truly decide and really think about it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they go like, I wouldn't wear that dress. Maybe you wouldn't. It's not your day.
You're also
it's not
a
your
guy.
Dress. You're also a guy. But one thing that would bother me on that show is the guys that come there and they say like, what do you want how do you know, what are some ideas for the bride? And the guy will come in and be like, I want her to look sexy. Shit you not. You're like, I want her to look hot. So that way when I see her down the aisle, she looks nice and sexy. And then there's times where there's like the conflict where like he's like, it's not sexy enough. He's not sexy enough. And I always think,
are you kidding me with this?
I'm dead serious. And I go, if they did any stats of how long this marriage lasted,
0 minutes and 0
it lasted
seconds.
0 seconds.
Yeah.
He got off, and then he was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's done.
That's about it.
It's done. I'm flaccid.
Why? Okay, you know how if you have an opinion and you think it's going to make or break your wedding to your future wife because of the dress she's wearing, what do I care?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Taking it off later.
Right.
It don't matter. See you naked. See you later. Naked.
I'm a little ranty.
Actually,
all day. But
this
I'm
is
just
good.
noticing it. I'm just like...
No, this is what this podcast is for. Or there's been some situations where the best man will go, and he'll be like, nah, that ain't hot enough. That ain't sexy enough. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. You're the best man. Like, what?
I don't even have...
Right?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
That's just irritating.
Yeah,
I don't even want...
So I'd rather be the type that's like, oh, I can't see it because it's bad luck, than that guy, because I really think that I shouldn't care.
Right.
I really shouldn't care. Because I should care about, hey, she found something that made her feel beautiful, because I think she's already beautiful, and I'm going to, once I see her walking down the aisle and I go, wow, I'm going to marry this girl, that's going to be the most amazing thing in the world.
Boom.
That's what it is.
Do you
it's
think,
not like, is it sexy enough for my standards? Or is it beautiful enough?
If any guy ever, he's standing on the little pedestal, and the bride starts walking down the aisle, breathtaking moment, and the only thought in his head goes, shoulder straps. That's like a shitty romantic comedy. Is like that, be like, yeah, yo, my bride's dress is ugly. Also, I'm getting married to someone else tonight. It's a Vince Vaughn movie. 2 weddings, one husband.
I was thinking of the plot to like Barbershop 16.
Yeah, that's it. Same thing. Except no one gets their haircut.
No one's getting their haircut. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's one thing that was like, and I can't say like, well, what should I wear? And I say I don't care.
Right, you can't say that. No,
you can't say that. But it's just more of like whatever is gonna make whatever you feel happy, and you're gonna know. Don't rely on pleasing everybody, because at the end of the day, everything's great. And even if for some reason you pick the worst, ugliest, terriblest dress of all time,
yeah,
when you look at it 30 years from now, you're gonna go, it was a different time.
Yeah,
isn't it? We look like such goofballs.
Yeah, look
we're
at that.
little young little goofballs.
Pink suit.
2016. We were just goofballs. It was a different time.
Beginning of the century.
And everyone laughs and everybody forgets about it.
Yeah.
But but now if you have the most amazing dress in the world and you get divorced a year later, you want to throw away and burn all those pictures because you want to forget that you're ever in that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel like we should start like jotting down things on a notepad. I feel like that's something we should be doing. We don't.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I have notepads. I have multiple notepads around here.
Let's not forget to talk about MacBooks later.
Yeah, I mean, I try to, I sometimes I'll create like a nice little sheet.
Yeah,
that'll create some ideas and some things for the topics.
On
but
paper made out of wheat and
yeah. Now I have all of this paper because you can't buy like, oh, can I have one old looking piece of paper? So I have all this paper, and then we ran out of white paper to print. So now I just have all this old ass paper, and I'm too cheap to go out and buy new stuff.
Well, I mean, you could always go back in time and
rewrite the Declaration of Independence,
make a new law.
So what you're saying pretty much is I should just, instead of just buying paper for $5, I should invest in a time machine so that way I can bring this paper there.
Listen, Vince, you're hysterical. Nobody invests in a time machine. You just make a time machine.
So you invent it.
You invent the time machine.
It's a self thing. You're not just going to give some money and say, I hope this works.
Right. Using clearly.
There's no time machine stocks.
Right. No. Not by Sony. Nothing like that. What you do is apparently you use items strictly and exclusively found in your garage.
In a garage.
In order to build it. But then the one missing ingredient is something that you have to steal from the government.
Got it.
I don't know if you saw Project Almanac.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie about time travel.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love time travel movies. I finally got Lauren to watch Back to the Future.
What do you,
I know, right? She's never seen it, and I convinced her to get it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta watch. You gotta watch it. She says, okay, fine. So I go into we had the 3 DVDs, and sure enough, the first one's missing. So I had to go to buy that one, and then she watched it, and she's like, oh yeah, I knew all the references. I knew this was all coming. I was like, oh, well, that kind of ruins it. I'm like, we gotta watch number 2 because number 2 is the best.
yeah.
Go watch number 2. We have number 2, but my brother scratched shit, so now it doesn't work and it sucks. And I'm like, we're not gonna watch 3,
Right.
Because go Wild Wild West, they make a flying train.
Waste
What?
of time.
Waste of time.
Now, I have a follow-up question based on that statement. Now, does Lauren have TBS?
It's like I always say, you don't need money and you don't need fame and you don't need credit card to ride this train. Wait a minute. I think I finally understand that part of the song.
It's about
the train in Back to the Future 3. That's what it's for.
Yeah, you don't need money.
That was the thing, because he didn't have money for that. He wasn't famous.
Right. He just built it in his garage.
He's built it. That was the whole encompassing story. They were like, we need a train,
Yeah.
and that's what it turned into.
And
it was fueled by the power of love. Because I understand, like, well, how did he make this flying
Power
train?
of Love, Huey Lewis.
It was the power of love. Because he was in love with that girl. This is a real thing.
Don't need money. I feel like they wrote the whole 3 parts all at the same time because there's no way there's that good a continuity in a movie made in the 80s without them knowing exactly what was going to happen.
It's like Breaking Bad. They knew what was going to happen at the end. They knew the whole story arc, everything. But it's just with trains, and it was that was the song. They
Just
had
with
they
trains.
blasted in your brain.
So you're saying that Breaking Bad is Back to the Future without trains?
Well, if you think about it, Back to the Future does seem kind of futuristic in that idea. So
Like ahead of its time?
like ahead of its time.
Like, do you think Back to the Future was on the right tracks?
It could be on the right tracks. Like I said, I think that might be a little bit before our time, but it could be also ahead of our time.
Now,
We could be going back to the times.
Do you think the way that the actors conducted themselves was appropriate so they could stay on the right tracks?
I think specifically in Back to the Future 2, when Marty pushes the bad guy and he says, "Since when did you become the physical type?" I feel like that fully encompassed everything, because the power of love is a physical type. There's different types of love, but the power of love is probably physical.
Well, yeah. If you go force equals mass times acceleration, you're telling me there's no love in that formula?
How come 88 looks like 2 boobs together? You ever notice that the flux capacitor looks strangely odd to the Illuminati symbol?
Do you know how many triangles is in the flux capacitor?
Illuminati.
That's how many. Did you ever... Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a little more of a random topic, but on one of the topics I wrote, social media's outlet on politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember what exactly I meant by that. I feel like, I don't know about you right now, I could be wrong, but right now I feel like politics just kind of is in a lull.
Yeah. No, yeah, right now it is. Yeah, for
Everybody was going shit crazy, and then it just went down, and I just forgot about it. Like, oh yeah, I guess I'll live out my life. Like,
yeah, I guess other things happen. It just goes to show you people only care about what's convenient to care about.
yeah. The thing that I always get a crack out of is how people think that like social media can change the world. And my biggest concern with it is whether it's a movement, whether it's something that a celebrity did or a politician or something that's going on, and then it'll literally just drop off in sometimes not even a week. Sometimes like just like a couple days.
I feel like social media doesn't make an impact on the world. I feel like it's just like a product of the world, and people think it's making an impact because it gets a lot of likes and shares. 100,000 shares? Are you kidding me? Yeah, who cares? That doesn't mean anything. No, I feel like social media as a whole unit is like the little brother of actual media, and they think they have a say in any decision to go on. Should we get pizza or subs? And social media is like, pizza, pizza, pizza. And they're like, oh, yeah, we know pizza exists. And they're like, anyway, we're getting subs.
We're getting subs. And I think, too, with social media, I feel like it's like this. Like, oh, okay, so I'm doing my part for this movement, this thing, right? By sharing.
Yeah.
Or by liking it. Mm-hmm. Or by commenting. Or something, right? Or getting in a heated argument with somebody. Or posting a passive-aggressive post regarding this topic. But in reality, you think that when you do that, someone's going to get off of their computer and be like, all right, time to go out in the real world and change and actually solve this problem.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
No.
They just keep sharing and posting until it dies off.
Do anything. No, yeah.
One of the big things that I can't stand, and I see this online a lot, is, and it's always with my parents' generation and the generation before them, it's always the like, and we survived type things. And by the rant, you know this, right?
Okay,
glad to see you're in good health.
Yeah.
So it's the we drank lead water out of a hose, and we were fine. We survived. We didn't wear seatbelts and got in car crashes all the time, and we survived. We had lead toys, and we survived.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we used to eat tons of peanut butter, and we survived. It's like, okay, what about those who didn't?
Yeah. How about those people?
Yeah. You talked in this one thing about bad drivers, people that suck at driving, crappy drivers. And I always think, are they bad drivers, or are we just all bad drivers? And just whenever it doesn't go our way, we're like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, is that chances are most mistakes you see are mistakes you've made as well, regardless of how angry or not angry. Doesn't mean I can't be a hypocrite. Most things are just normal human mistakes. Obviously, we have more distractions available. Some things are just, are really, dude, really.
There's something, too, about how when we watch, like, when someone's messing up, just on the highway or driving slow, whatever, we have to, like, see who is in the car. Like, who is doing this?
Yeah.
And no matter who it is, we're always like, typical.
It doesn't matter.
Of course.
Young adult.
It's a young adult. Of course it's an old person.
Yeah.
Of course it's a woman.
Yeah.
Of course it's a man, that douchebag.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter
Typical.
what. We're like, they're all just so bad.
Here's what
while we're texting and ranting as a tweet, not even looking at the road of all the responsibility that's in front of us.
Taking a snap of us ourselves, being like, get off your phone, you idiot. Meanwhile, all we're doing is we're just making sure it's another human being, because we hate every other human being that's not us on the road.
I do kind of wish, though, that one time I would do that and it would be just like a dog driving. I'm like, well, of course. It's
a canine.
It's a stupid dog. Dogs aren't supposed to drive. Dad, that's not progressive. Don't say that in the restaurant. Dogs shouldn't drive.
Hitting the border right there.
Just hitting the border and then putting a wall of it. The best wall.
The biggest wall.
It's weird because we said that and it sounded more like a Bernie Sanders.
I was just going to say, especially with the hands. And not only am I not going to build a wall, I'm going to dig a hole. And you can there's a big hole, there's a moat around America, and everyone can take money from the rich to buy this moat. That's gonna be my new thing. Bernie Sanders, the impression.
You know what?
I wish with no political views. I just want to hang out with Bernie Sanders. I feel like he would just he'd give me a really generous Christmas card.
I mean, part of me, the thing that's kind of great is no matter who wins the election, there's always going to be plenty of jokes. I feel like with Obama, there was less jokes.
There was less jokes.
No, people can say there's a lot of jokes.
A lot of impressions.
Yeah.
Not jokes.
There's a lot of impressions and stuff. The only ones that really pulled it off was Key and Peele.
Perfect.
I thought they did it very educated. How come he's never mad?
The never mad is the perfect
thing. They did something very tastefully done.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Bernie Sanders, you can do his voice all day.
Yeah.
With Donald Trump, you know, he's anything he says, he can be like, yeah, I love America. And they'd be like, look at up Donald Trump. I love America. I'm stupid. But then Hillary Clinton, like, she could do a bunch of jokes.
I think
so. I am looking forward in terms of comedy of whoever wins.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong because right now, and tell me if you notice any extras, as far as the jokes, Bernie Sanders, everything is big all the way. I'm yelling it.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about everything. For Hillary Clinton, I'm copying Bernie Sanders. Whatever he does, I'm doing. And then for Trump, it's...
We're going to build a wall.
Doesn't matter. You build a
we
wall.
hate everybody.
I'm the best.
Yeah, and I'm the best.
Everyone's an idiot.
Everyone's a loser, and you explain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
have
Ted
you seen
Cruz
the
is
Ted Cruz is I'm the what is it, killer? I'm the
Zodiac
I'm the
killer.
Zodiac killer. It's the funniest thing. Why?
Did you ever watch that movie?
Yeah,
It's fucking
a long
weird.
movie.
Yeah, it's a long movie. It's a long movie just to tell you, like, yeah, we just don't know.
I don't know. He's still out there, probably.
I'm like, wait, it's been 3 hours for this?
That's like when you watch those documentaries of like the giant squid. It's an hour and a half, and it always ends with, yeah, we don't even know if he's real. We didn't find him.
Of course.
Take off.
And that's supposed to be a documentary. It's supposed to be truth. I know. There's always like this big thing, like, yeah. That's why, like, for River Monsters, I gotta wait to the end. I just skip to the end because I'm like, I gotta know if they actually catch this fucking thing.
I watched the last 10 minutes of every River
last 10 minutes,
episode.
you catch, like, look at this, and it's always like 10, 100 million times, whatever. It's always like a small fish compared to, like, I heard there's ancient stories that Satan himself comes out of the waters and eats people, and then he pulls out, it's like, it's a piranha with a little bit of teeth.
He just pulls out, it's a fish hook holding onto a Reuben sandwich. This was it the whole time.
He's like, isn't it a beaut? And I'm like, yep.
My grandfather caught a sub half the size.